Ah, how wonderful. Welcome to you all. Welcome to this temple of light. Within the ethers, within the worlds of light. We welcome you. We welcome all your guides and helpers, family and relations in the spirit worlds. Taking some big breaths, relaxing your body, each and every one. As you lift up your hearts, as you open up, as you combine your energies in this one intention to gather together in the name of the divine within you, of your higher self, calling in the presence to be within you. And so it is. As you breathe, as you think of opening up, so it is. Understanding the wonderful power that is within you, allowing it to come forward, being very at ease, for this is your nature. This is the most natural thing, to be fully present in all your beautiful color here, in this temple of light, connecting through the ethers. You see, like you are here on the line, on the spirit line, all connected. As you evolve here in the physical, emotional, mental world, so you connect ever more deeply into the other dimensions of your being. And we welcome the ascended beings in the fifth dimension, those beings who no longer incarnate here upon the earth, but who bring you their wisdom, their love and healing blessings, opening to that presence within you. Use your imagination also to see the beauty that is around you on the inner plane. Allow your mind to open up. Allow your inner sight to come forward. We welcome the great brother sisterhoods of the oversouls of all your families and bloodlines, and the great oversoul of humanity and the Council of the Light, protecting you, inspiring you and leading you forward from deep within, where your higher selves are all connected in this great web of oneness. We welcome the angelic and archangelic beings from the sixth dimension, those who are also inspiring, protecting you from an even greater perspective, guiding you on your path here in this world of earth. We welcome all the angelic and archangelic beings, and if you know their names, name them within your heart, within your mind. Name them, call them, welcome them. And all the deities we welcome from many cultures and traditions within which you all have walked in other times, in other lives. The deities that speak to your soul and are in that sense brought through by you to radiate the light, the love, the faces and forms of the divine feminine and divine masculine presence. And so you share your beloveds here within this temple of light, and they come forward. We honor all deities. We welcome and we open to the light, to the power, to the solar logos, the Christ energy emanating forth from the central sun of creation. We give thanks for this pulse of new life, of new creation, for this breath of transformation and change, for this light which each of you who are ready can absorb and emanate yourselves into your lives. We honor the solar lords, the solar deities, both male and female, carrying this solar logos forward into the worlds of form. We honor the elemental spirits, the powers and deities of earth, air, fire and water, giving thanks for life, for the opportunity for the human soul to evolve in physical incarnation. Each one of you perfectly placed within your life, and around you all your allies and relations within the light body of the earth, manifesting into the physical realm, the spirits of the plants, the flowers, the trees, the standing people, bringing nourishment and food, medicine, healing, radiance, fragrance, beauty and color. We honor all the plant beings. We welcome the spirits of the rocks and stones, crystals and minerals, and the keepers of the Akashic records, whom we call forward to bring you the knowledge, the information, the memory that you need, that emanates from your higher self, from your book of life within the Akashic records, opening the brow and the crown centers to receive these emanations from within. We honor all the allies and familiars who walk with you, whose souls evolve with you in this life, in this journey upon the earth. Spirits of animals, of birds and water beings, of insect devas and serpent beings, bringing you their powers, gifts and blessings for your highest good and for the evolution of souls. We honor and welcome the elemental communicators, the fairy folk, the elven people, the pixies and leprechauns engaged in so much healing deep within the light body of the earth, manifesting change and transformation, coming forward to bring you blessings and gifts for your highest good. Feel around you the energies within the earth, air, fire, water, of dragons, of phoenix and firebird, of unicorn and Pegasus, and many magical and mythological beings working within the earth's body of light, journeying with you in the dream time, in your soul, bringing you inspiration and upliftment, healing for your highest good and for the evolution of souls. And we give thanks as we honor the extraterrestrial and starseed beings coming forward from other dimensions within the universe, bringing messages, bringing perception, bringing overview, bringing perspective for your deepest understanding, for your highest good, and for the evolution of all souls. We give thanks for the overlighting protection, for the love and blessings, for the peace and grace, for the power and strength, the wisdom, the inspiration, healing, and compassion of the all-in-one divine presence deep within. And may the living spirit, it is within all things, come forward within each of you, bringing the light, the true colors of your soul, bringing the inspiration and clarity for your mind, the love, confidence, and courage for your heart, the strength and stamina, physical well-being for your body, as you bring forward into your life your soul's purpose, creating beauty, love and peace, truth, well-being, abundance, prosperity, deep soul connection, and deep understanding. It is beyond the mind. Blessings and peace. I think around the spirits, just so you know, are all very impressed, and the round of very beautiful applause for the team. For the team, everybody. Sophia and Jerome, wonderful. You see determination.
Yeah, we got there. All right.
Thank you so much, dear ones. Thank you on behalf of everyone here. And thank you all for your patience. Well, at least perhaps you had time to just relax and really get that view on yourself that I was just leading you into. I don't know exactly when the line got cut off, so I gave you a blessing, of course, and called in all the beings who are waiting here. And now I invite you to really feel inside yourself how you are at this time. All of you are spirit workers. All of you are conscious beings on this epic journey of your life, this very exciting journey of evolution, transformation, and change. It is a big subject. How to make these changes that you can feel are being not just required of you, really they are coming from inside, this demand of your soul to rise up to the challenge of the times that you live in. Each one of you have different skills, special gifts that you bring to this life. And our presence with you is especially dedicated to the revelation of these gifts, to the full manifestation of everything that you are, to come forward in this world to bring your light to shine, to bring yourself into view. If you think about that, you see, first of all, you have to see yourself. You have to really appreciate who you are. You have to look into especially those places where you are perhaps a little doubtful. Any fears you have. What, me? Me? Shine? Any fears like that? Any doubts about the brilliance of your soul's light on the inside? First of all, on the inside, how do you feel? Because it is that feeling of you on the inside, when that gets really strong, when you are really sure of the beauty of your soul, when you really know that you are the living spirit within, that there is no one, nothing wanting to stop you from coming forward, only that which is within you that is of doubt or fear. When you really understand that, then you are liberated to enjoy, to really enjoy what is here for you on the earth in this human physical life. I want you to really focus on that joy right now. How much joy have you had of late? Is there a place within you that whatever is going on, you can remember joy? Or is that a little hard for you at the moment? It's fine if it's hard because, well, you know me. We go into the hard places and we soften them. We go into the difficult feelings, and just by going in, they become accessible, mutable. They change. Everything in you and around you, have you noticed, is changing all the time. And yet there is a place deep within you that is constant. The God force, the goddess power, the presence within you. A place of stillness. A quality of light. You could visualize it. You know, there's a wonderful image they use in some very relevant weather patterns, certainly for Europeans and Americans at the moment, the eye of the storm. You live in that center place in your soul. Whatever is happening around you, that place at the center is where your soul is connected to your higher self and to the divine. To be able to come into that place within yourself is what gives you strength, power, consistency. Inside that place, you have so much resource. Resource that you can then use to go down, up, out, in. So I just want you to focus for a moment in that deep place within you. Take some breaths and imagine that you are coming right inside the temple of your being. You are inside this great temple that is shared with all these beings, and within you is the reflection of this temple of light inside your soul. Everything comes from here, from deep within you. Let your mind go really still. Just keep a little bit of it to hear my voice, and just let the rest fade. Breathing, make your breath a little slower. Make sure you really fill up your lungs and then push all the air all the way out. Just breathe slowly, deep into the hara, where your belly button is. Slow it all right down and just be in that center of your being. In your mind's eye, let it expand until that center actually surrounds you, until that still place is holding you. It is full of light and beautiful color. See what color you feel. Your higher self knows what color you need right now. See what you sense around you. as you expand that stillness and enjoy that inner peace. The part of you that is doing this is your higher self, emanating through your crown and third eye, listening to me. Your higher self is here, creating this reality in this moment of stillness, of opening up your heart to the true wonder that is within you. Can you feel the resource, the power, the love, the light, the color? Can you sense as you open up and still your being and slow your breath? And what you are doing is making space for a part of you to come in. It's a part that you know, and yet it is, strangely enough, a spaciousness, an openness. As well as being a vastness that surrounds you and yet fills you with light. Every so often check your breath, make sure it is really slow, deep, as though you are breathing in all this power and resource in which you are sitting. Activating your centers. Using the power of inner seeing. You are creators, creatresses. This power of inner seeing is what you need most in your life, to be able to see on the inside. As you open these top centers, the crown at the top of your head and the brow, with your heart open, you are making way for your higher self to impress upon you, to commune with you, to communicate, to show you, to inspire you. How comfortable do you feel when you relax, dear ones? Life is full of stress, of difficult things you have to do, coordination of mind, heart and body, constant demands upon you. How comfortable do you feel just making space and being still? Can you feel that part of you that just wants to get on with something, that just wants to do something, manifest something, make something happen? That is completely authentic, dear one. Breathe into that place. Don't worry. I know that's what you need. Above all, you need the power to manifest your soul's purpose, your mind's vision, your heart's desire. That is what you are here to do, to manifest your God self, your higher self, to bring your dreams into reality, physical reality. And yes, that has a lot to do with physical action. However, your physical action needs to, of course, be aligned to your spiritual vision. This is the true work of manifestation, to get all of you lined up, to get the power coming from your divine self through into your mental understanding, through into your heart's feeling, and into your body's actions. Alignment. And each of those bodies of yours require particular practices, attention, understanding. For your higher self to be able to work through your mind, heart and body, there has to be clarity. There has to be, if you like, clarity of the channels, if you like, or the conduits through which that energy is going. So within your mind, that's why I ask you to be empty, make space, and at the same time, be ready when I ask you to bring the vision into that big container, that open space. But for now, we're just preparing your heart. So much goes on in life, so many feelings, so much to encounter. Problems, perhaps emotional difficulties. So you need to know how to clear them. Imagine you have a house full of clutter, but you clear a sacred space in the center, and you make that special place the channel for the thought to come into your feeling, into your heart. And you receive that command inside your body. And so then we come to your body. Are you able to relax fully? Can you feel and sense that energy coming forward into your physical body? It's good. While we are gathered here together, many beings are working with you. Many guides and helpers, friends and allies, relations, ancestors are very interested in working with you. If you had such a team in your life, physically, imagine what that would feel like. Each one dedicated entirely to assisting you in every detail of your life. How would you manage such a team? What would you ask them to do? Can you put yourself in that position, inside your mind, inside your heart, and just go through it in your thoughts? Now, I'd ask one of them to do this and that, and go here, go there, speak to so-and-so, start that up, make sure this is going on, maybe even if they were physical beings, they'd be doing things like the washing up, or something you really didn't like doing so much on the physical level. Perhaps they would be bringing you a lot of money so that you can, ease up on any financial worries you have. Imagine. And then don't just leave it at imagining. Start to really decide what these tasks are. What have you got to do that's going to bring through your intention at this time in your life? It can be so many different things, for there is a great array of you here with very varied agendas and purposes at this time in your life. So we're talking about right now, in the physical, in the emotional, in your daily life. And we will broaden it out to other aspects. I want you to just think right now, could you do with some help? Yes, I can see. Yes, that's right. Good. And just as though you are hiring somebody, you're paying them a lot of money, they're going to do a job for you. Delineate the job, the task. Take a really big breath. Have you done it in enough detail? Do you know what you're delegating? Do you know what has to be done? Because if you don't, it won't get done. Because you see, although you're delegating and asking for the help in this matter, in truth, the energy of it becoming manifest is inside you. You are the power of its manifestation. The power with which you believe it can get done is how well this communication can happen right now. Do you believe that you can receive the help of all these spirit beings we have invited here into this temple? Maybe there are some people here you have not thought of, you have not imagined could be here. Maybe you got some specialists that can help you. There were some things that could not be changed right now really quickly about the situation that we had here. But I did ask for some help. And the team wonderfully worked with all their imagination, with all their know-how, with every gizmo and gadget they had. And they manifested, you see. But it's teamwork. You are all a point of light, a point of manifestation on this earth, with a lot of members of your team working with you. But the clearer you are about what you want to do, how you want to work in your life, what you want to bring forward, the clearer you are, and the more certain you are about the value of what your gifts are, the more you feel the passion of your service to humankind, the more full of love and inspiration, compassion, kindness, and healing that you are in service to humanity, the more enthusiastic your spirit team is on the inner plane. And you can imagine how enthusiastic all the beings are to help this beautiful family to manifest this work. Well, you're all equally valuable and beautiful in that regard. You're all beings who want to bring light, love, compassion, healing into the world. Try to understand this. Really go for it. Really open up. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes. I'm going to be breathing here and watching you all while you get some detail of how you want the spirits to assist you. And I want you to imagine you're the boss of the organization. They need commands from you. And there's a bit of a switch there of the energy from prayer, from opening up, from asking, from receiving, to now, if you were the boss of your enterprise and you have to say, I need you to do that by this time, and it has to be like this. Please, could you do this? You can still be polite, but you're the boss. You know how you want it done. You know what you want done. You know what it's all a part of, a jigsaw puzzle of requirements for you to be at the top in that place of ability and power within your life. And once you set this up, by the way, it doesn't just all kind of go skidding back into the ethers out of view. No, once you set this up, you're working with it every day. Not necessarily every hour of every day, but there's going to be a time in the day where you remind your beloveds and you listen to what they have to bring you. And often you will find that someone will appear in your life and they will be carrying that energy that you have delegated to one of your spirit guides or helpers. So just a couple of minutes, or perhaps not even that long, for you to pay attention on the inside to what you personally need in your life at this time. Seeing it coming to you in the beauty way, with great love and the greatest of ease. And noticing any blockages, any doubts. Just as important to notice. And gently, just with a thought, just putting them to one side. Oh, I see you, but please go over there, just sit there. Anything in the way of my communication with my guides and helpers. With all my heart, I call to me those who love me, who honor me, who work with me on the inner planes, to hear me, receive, my creations, my desires. When you feel you have given them, you have really set it up for yourself, then completely let go. Completely trust what you have created, the communication that you have set in motion. Just like, you write a letter, you put it in the post, or you write an email, you click one of those buttons, and it goes. You communicate with your guides and helpers. You specify what you need. You send it. You see it being received. And then you let go. And you wait with faith and trust in your heart. Here's the part where you have to really work on yourself with faith and trust in your heart. with acceptance and surrender as to the how of the manifestation of the work of your guides and helpers, of the angelic and archangelic beings and deities, of the cosmic intelligence of which you are a part. Feeling the vastness of the universe, which is pouring its light through you all the time. And seeing where you are, including any difficulties and challenges at this time, and knowing that you are all beings of caliber who have been working spiritually on the inside for a long time. Looking at your life and seeing sometimes things manifest really easily, sometimes they seem to take forever. Why would that be? If you trust and you have faith in your connection with the divine, with your higher self and with your guides and helpers, then of course you trust in that cosmic and divine order into which your energy is weaving and flowing in the beauty way for the highest good of all. Can you accept this? That even includes, difficulties, so-called blockages, delays, problems and challenges. Can you open up and just be willing to encompass it all? And you see that great overriding purpose of you becoming ever more luminous, ever more compassionate and loving, ever more surrendered to your highest self-presence. That is where surrender is. Surrendered to your higher self, who is entirely in tune with the cosmic law, with the emanations from the central sun of creation. Seeing that your life is weaving with the lives of billions of other souls here upon the earth and also in other dimensions. Here you are upon the earth, beloveds, and here also many beings in this temple of light from other constellations and galaxies. Brothers and sisters of yours in many different star systems, enabled through your uplifting communal intention, enabled to come forward into the fourth dimension, just there at the edge of the fifth dimension, beings of a higher order who are interfacing with you. When I say of a higher order, I do mean that they're not necessarily incarnating in the dense physical world. They're not dealing with the same challenges as you, but they really want to help you. This is a cosmic affair. The earth at this time, the struggles of humanity at this time, the age that you are in, where you brave souls have decided, we will bring the light in. We will be the light workers. We will come forward We will be the manifestors, the creators of the new life patterns and forms of being, of thinking, of understanding. You have many brothers and sisters for whom you are the great inspiration. Beings who truly love you and want to help. Help with what, you might say? You know, my problems may be very material. Perhaps you have all kinds of problems and you think, well, what's a star being going to help me with that? Oh, extraordinary, dear ones. Do not be fooled about dimensionality. Because something is in the fifth dimension does not mean there is no reach into the third dimension. Quite the opposite. The beings in the fifth, sixth, seventh dimensions are able to project pure energy into the form world. But you are the conduits for it. That is how that energy comes in. And when I say you, I mean literally all of you here, and those whose lives also bring them into this awareness, who are connecting with all of you in this dimension, whose temples of light are all over the world activated for this same purpose, to bring assistance in from other dimensions. And I say only through you in a certain aspect, for wherever you walk upon the earth, as you are connected, you connect, for example, through the crystalline realm, you connect through nature, you become that conduit just as you walk in your world. Not always just when you're meditating and in an elevated state of consciousness, but once you have connected, once you have decided, right, you know, I'm going to illuminate, ignite my whole being, I'm going to be that conduit of the divine here upon the earth, then that's it. Wherever you walk, you are enabling those beings of other dimensionality to have connection upon the earth. You are those mediums between the higher dimensions and the deep worlds of earth, so needy of assistance at this time. And the earth herself communicates directly. There is a huge communication going on at this time, because not only upon the earth are systems, well, a little wobbly, shall we say. You can feel it, the weather systems, the oceans, the land itself. Never mind the emotional bodies, the mental, craziness, shall we say, that you observe in the everyday. But the earth within the cosmos at this time, the cosmos in that sense of your galaxy, and then all the other galaxies, huge movements constantly. But at this time, very specific movements that are all to do with a rearrangement so that the light, or we could say caused by the light, that is emanating from the center and changing everything. What kind of change is that? It is an evolutionary change. It is a wondrous change. Nothing to fear. Unless you are full of fear, in which case your fear will be illuminated This you have to understand. You have heard me talk before about how this light is stirring up the depths within you, within the earth, within all the systems of life itself. Human, animal, vegetable, and mineral. So you can see why I'm really encouraging you to build up the muscle of your connection with these beings of light. To build up, to practice believing. You see, believe in practicing and practice believing. You see, I'm using words there in a particular way to just open up your mind to how you need to be in order to evolve. First thing, you need to want to evolve. You need to understand what evolving means. It means basically becoming more and more able to bring through that divine presence. It means becoming more and more able to allow the miracles. The miracles that are the manifestation of that divine presence. You hear me? To allow them. To allow the love. To really love yourself. Because once you really love yourself, you can't help loving everybody else. I mean, it's impossible not to. But do you love yourself? Do you understand the miraculous power of loving yourself? Of really seeing your bravery, your courage, of really appreciating and having great compassion for any places where you feel stretched, where you feel unable to do what you need to do. All around the earth at this time, great love is coming forward from the angelic realms, from the ascended realms, and from the realms of deity to hold the earth in this shaky time where the earth itself is evolving. You will be here one day with Chongfu and all the ascended beings doing this job. I'm just trying to describe it to you. And we never forget what it is to be in the third dimension, in the physical world. We never forget. This is the beauty of creation that you are in. This is the wonder. Daily miracles are happening all around you, beloved ones. Life itself in its great beauty. All of you. Every single one of you. You are miraculous. You are miracles already. Do you believe me? Can you feel what I am talking about and what is possible? If you believe, if you have faith in yourself and in your higher selves, and you allow wants to come into your life. A lot of you have worked with me for some time now. Brave beings really taking on your life, deeply practicing what I am talking about. And you all know what challenges there are in this that I ask of you, to have faith, to believe. Because I am not always talking about having faith that by doing this work, the miracles will be obvious to you. It is about you being able to appreciate and love yourself and see the miracles that actually are in your heart, in your ability to love, in the beingness of you, in the beauty of you, in the wonder of your creativity, of all that you bring, of your skills and powers. And to see the place that your need, your longing, perhaps your dissatisfaction, perhaps your impatience, perhaps sometimes your doubt and your fear, to see the place those so-called negative qualities have, that they have a purpose. They are not negative results. If you feel pain, if you have days of feeling down, if you have, days when you think, oh, I've done all this work, I've done everything Chung Fu said, but I just know I haven't quite, got there. This is not something out of the picture. This is necessary. Because on the physical, emotional, mental plane, this is what brings you back onto your path. There is bound to be, as we said, change, fluctuation, movement between dark and light, night and day, pain, pleasure, sorrow, joy. Death and life. It's all part of this wondrous picture in which you are evolving your God-like nature here upon the earth. So there are beings who would like to come forward, dear ones. I'm going to let them. I am Melchizedek. I greet you with my love. Emanation of solar logos. I come forward to each one gathered here on your earth and in the world of light. I see you and come forward that I may be known to you in mind and heart, that you may call to me from where you reside upon the earth, and know that I hear you. At times I come forward, speaking through one upon your earth. For in doing so, you are enabled to draw inside your being this light, this understanding. Know that in your time, there is preparation for transformation. That your earth is being visited at this time by the Supreme Light, and the great Oversoul of humanity being impregnated with this light. Is in a state of flux. You will notice every kind of thought, both positive and negative, as if every philosophy or religion or faith is dancing in mid-air. All thrown up into a great steam, as the human mind attempts to grasp the truth. there is only one truth, beloved, that each one finds within, nor can any supplant that which is within another, but only each one find it for him or herself. One truth, and one way, that each one is connected to this truth and destined to discover it on your own unique path of evolution. Oh, great joy to discover here this gathering of souls seeking this truth that is within. I send to each and every one of you gathered here the radiance of the solar logos that emanates from the great heart of love. Call me. And know that I am with you. Feel within your being and remember.
I am Guan Yin. I come to speak to you. I see you, and I see your suffering. Bring understanding and compassion. Take my love. Receive my power. Know my dragon that comes and brings to you the power in the darkness, and brings to you the strength when you are weak. I am Guan Yin. my dragon, I come to you in many forms, but it is especially my dragon power that I bring to you, my people. Like you, Great Mother has many faces, many powers. Courage. And fierce love I bring to you. For you must be strong and know when to call me. Do not forget to call me. I am riding with you the waves of change and transformation. Come, let me hold you. Ride with me.
It's so wonderful to be here. Hello, I'm Gowron. Hello. Oh, some that I love, and I see you all. Yes, I love you all. How exciting. Some of you I haven't ever met before. I'm so fortunate. I have practiced a little. You know, this wonderful friend of ours helps me come through. I'm a fifth-dimensional being, and I come from Arcturus. Yes. I am only here briefly today, but just to remind you of a few things that are going on. Well, I'm sure you know about them on one level, but I wanted to just put a little detail in for you. What's going on around the Earth, what's going on in other constellations, just in case you feel alone, just in case you think you're the only people going through it in the universe. Oh, no. I've been visiting a few places of late. It's one of the things I love to do is to correlate what is going on here on your Earth, in Arcturus, and in other constellations. Partly, I think, of course, for my own education, understanding, and evolution, but I feel also very, well, shall we say, aligned to the great work of manifestation of the divine plan, not just upon the Earth, but throughout the cosmos. Yes, that's what you're part of. That's what we share, the bigger picture. You must wonder sometimes, where does it all lead to? What's next? What helps you to make sense of life upon the Earth, if it is not that greater context of your life on Earth as part of a vast succession of lives, not just upon the Earth, but in many other places. I wonder if you all see that. I think most of you do. I'm just checking. Yes. Yes. It's a little on the edge for some of you, but let's think about that. Your succession of lives. Yes. Some of you have been on Arcturus. I can see you. Some on Andromeda. Some both. Some of you are Venusians who have traveled in a number of constellations before you've come to Earth. We've got Pleiadians here. You've got a lot of your relatives gathered here. Yes. Got Syrians as well. Not the kind of Earth Syria, you know, the Sirius, the constellation of Sirius, and many Earth beings are very connected to Sirius. Yes. And there are many more, of course. Many more star systems that I'm not bringing in, that some of you belong to or have come from. That's right. It is a vast cosmos, and we are all related. I'm always so glad to be called in. This is a very precious opportunity to communicate with you. Perhaps sometime we will have the chance of a dialogue. I'm sure that will be possible at some point. I love it when we can actually talk together. And perhaps if you have questions, if you put them out now, I will, if you could understand me, answer them through the old Chinaman later. Yes, it works like that. One heart, one mind. Yes. What is happening right now
involves all of us. It's very exciting. Great changes. Well, of course, everything in that sense is always changing, but when I say great changes, I mean significant evolution, where you notice the change. You know those moments in your history where things are discovered and it changes everything. Well, you're on the verge of that on your earth. Why? Because you have to change. Why? Because otherwise, that's right. Well, in that sense, you won't survive, but you will survive because you're changing, and the whole earth is changing. It's all part of the same plan. It doesn't mean that what has been is not as it should have been. Don't get involved with guilt and morbidity and blame. It's a real waste of energy, precious creative power that you have, which all needs to be going into understanding how you are changing. You think of this that we are doing, using extraordinary technology for a being from another dimension like me to come through to you. Think of that, just that in itself, and then go incrementally forward from that and realize where evolution is going, to that oneness, to that complete connection. Everything you dream of now, just happening. You dream of an angel, you want to communicate with a being of light, and you can see that being in front of your very eyes, not in another world, because you're in that world. And I don't mean you're dead either. I don't mean, oh yes, we all know we go to the spirit world and, you know, everything's made of light there and it's all sort of multicolored rainbows and, you know. No, I don't mean that. I mean that the forms of life being created, they're going to be different. They're going to have a different density. They'll still be physical. But the era of extreme density is changing. Perhaps you can feel it. Perhaps you know, perhaps you can sense the way this change is happening. That it is qualitative. Perhaps you've noticed how different your experience of time is. Perhaps you've noticed the way that your mind can grasp subjects that perhaps 100 or 200 years ago wouldn't have even entered the mind of a human being. Communication, oneness, connection. These are the things, if you think about it, that make life sing, make you sing, that make the possibility of joy and ecstasy. Think of it. When things go right and you're communicating and when you feel connected, think of all the ramifications of what that can mean. And imagine that was really easy, even easier than now. I know you had some difficulty. We were watching and trying to help. In fact, we did help. You see, you help us, we help you. Really, we are totally connected. That thought right there is so important for every single person here. Wait 1 second. That we are in touch. Think of that word. In your world, when you hold somebody, you get that sense of comfort. Ah, there they are, I can feel them. Well, imagine having that feeling intrinsically within yourself that you know you are touching us, beings of light, that we are actually touching. Even though I don't have a physical form, I am touching you. And in this dialogue, you are reaching to me. It's actually like that in your world. In truth, if some of you really know this, all of you can know it. What does that mean to you? When I say I touch you, how real is that for you? Can you feel me? See, I can feel you. I can really touch you. And I'm not restricted by time or space. And this is the most wonderful experience, and I'm so grateful to you all. Can you feel that gratitude? From me, can you feel my joy? This is what matters to us, that you would allow us to speak to you, that you would be open to hearing us. Those of us who dwell in the worlds of light but are reaching out to you. That's the change. My dear friends, that's the change. When all of you on the earth and your systems of communication, I think you would agree, are enabling that more and more, realize your power. You are no longer fooled to be believing you are separate. But it has to begin inside. This is why we talk to you, so that we can alter a particular attitude in the mind which comes about as a result of the shock of being in a dense vibration where you don't quite recognize yourself. Because when you physically incarnate, it's a big job. It really does ask every bit of you to focus on the dense vibration. Of course, in your world there are those who just can't. They're very confused by it, and they are half absent, and you call that different kinds of imbalance of mind, of the emotional body. We understand. It is a big, a massive effort required for you all to be fully present and manage the density and the laws that come about of duality. To that part of you that I am touching, to the higher mind and the higher self, or the light body of you. You see, it's very different. You know yourself, you dream things, they look easy. I can just do that. I mean, I can fly through the air, I can leap across great distances, I can leap across mountains, I can go down into the earth, I can do so many things, as we all can in our body of light. So it's no wonder, if that is the reality, the truth of your being, it's no wonder that it's confusing when you can't walk through a wall. When you can't contradict the laws of duality, density, or you think you can't. And of course, I am sure that you have heard of beings who can do so-called miracles, but really what those miracles are They are miracles where the density of matter has been translated back into the light it came from. That is the law, we can say, of miracles. That you have transcended the limitation of the laws of duality and of matter, using the next dimensionality of the laws of light. And that is really what I'm just here to delineate for you, is that when you work with higher mental energy, you're bringing that light. That's where you convert that light, where it starts to convert into matter. That the mind itself, your mind, is the engine of conversion, of light, of your dreams, your visions, into matter. Your actual mind does that. Where you have to work is where the mind interfaces with your heart, and what the old Chinaman called faith and belief, where your creations in your mind, your actual thoughts, are becoming feelings. In the most positive way we are talking about, but of course you all know how that can happen in its negative form, which we then would urge you to work at the other way around, to realize, I have this dense feeling of pain, whatever that might be, negativity, doubt, fear, and realize, that can be transmuted back and out of the thought body and back into the world of light. I know you also all work also with releasing it through bodily emotion, through emotional expression, but there is also transmutation of negativity. When you notice it in your heart, you can lift it up and transmute it through that same mechanism, taking it up and dissolving it with the power of the light. Well, you know, this was the little bit that the old Chinaman, well, I won't say allowed because he's not forcing me to leave, but it was the part that he invited me to speak of today. That relationship of the transmutation of thought into feeling substance, which is called belief, which is called faith, and comes into the heart through the throat center, which is why speaking is so important, speaking your dream, your vision, your belief, your faith. That's why that is so important. And what happens is, these are the laws of manifestation. You could say, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word is your God self, is the power of the divine coming into speech, into sound. And you can hear sound. It is a vibration that your heart can feel and that activates your heart. So by all means, do work with that. Thank you for hearing me. What a complete delight. And I have many brothers and sisters gathered here, Arcturian beings. And we are also grateful to be invited by you into this beautiful temple. So many blessings to you. Farewell.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Farewell.
Yes, yeah. I come to you. I am Mary Magdalene. I come to you with my love to speak of my heart to you, to the heart of woman and the heart of man, to the power of love that is between you. I call you to harmony one with another. I call you to great compassion of the loving of woman for man and man for woman, in the deep compassion of your soul for the pain of one another that is carried from long ago. I am Mary Magdalene, who come forward in your world to speak of compassion, to speak of love, and of that which is within you, the love of the opposites within you and amongst you, one to another, that you all may remember perhaps you are man in this life, yet have been woman in another. Or perhaps you are woman that has been man before. Have compassion for the pain that is carried. And especially at this time of rising up, within each one of you a great courage that rises up and calls us to you, who are within the ethers, watching over you. I see many great hearts here, hearts full of love. I see all of you reaching, calling. This is why we come, whenever we can, to be heard, to be seen, that you may know we dwell with you within the ethers as close as cheek to cheek, as close as heart to heart, as you are with your beloveds, family, friends, upon the earth. Do not be mistaken. We are close, so close. Oh, beautiful ones, noble-hearted ones, seekers, beloveds upon the path, do not give up, never give up. We are here with you. We are all around you. I see many whom I recognize. You have been here before. Remember me. I am human like you, though some think otherwise. Dear ones, I am a humble soul that has walked on earth many times. Like you I have suffered. I have experienced pain and separation, loss, humility, despair. I have watched my beloved torn apart. I have seen worlds torn apart. I have seen families and nations torn apart. We are working together. We are brothers and sisters on this path. We are creating a new world. We and you, together, across the whole of the earth and across all of the universe. My brothers and sisters, human beings are not just upon the earth. We are everywhere within the cosmos. And we bring a light to shine upon the earth. We are travelers in the universe of light. And though it is heavy and it is challenging, and upon the earth there have been many eons of suffering and pain, I say to you, great change comes now, begins now, in the hearts, in the minds, in the works of all conscious beings. And this is the seeding of an age that shall manifest here upon the earth, that all have dreamed of. is right. The divine plan. You are all carrying it in your hearts. And so the seeds are sown. Thank you. For inviting me here. Remember that I am close. Peace, dear ones. We give thanks. We are honored that these beings come forward this day, this night, this morning, this time, this afternoon. We give thanks. And I have opened these gateways for these beings to come through, that you may really experience their presence amongst you, that you may begin to understand the deep reality of your connection with the beings of light. And so, just feeling where you are now, dear ones. Listening within your own hearts. As we began this work this night, this day, this time, with you. For you to really understand the power that is within you, to bring it forward, to believe in yourself, to rest that belief on a great self-love, to understand the places of weakness or negativity within you to be just a stage in your evolution, and to realize that you have these beings who want to work with you, who are calling to you, who know that really you want them to be with you. You need help. And just so that you know, there were other beings that wanted to come forward, but there is a time restriction, which I'm probably just about to discover. Because of the delay at the start, I do not have quite so much time as normal. So I'm going to just, I'm going to just gently round off this part of our work together and listen to see if some of you want to come forward with some questions or any matters for discussion
or further depth. And so I think that's about right, isn't it, Sophia?
It is.
Peace,
yeah,
dear
because
one.
it's
I was getting telepathic emanations, you know. Yes, dear one. All right, so we open to your discussion, to your questions, to your process, anything you would like to talk about, positive or negative, whatever comes forward for you, dear ones. Peace.
So yes, inviting any one of you, those of you who have rejoined the video, you know that you can type in things into the chat there, and any of you who are on the phone lines, you can press *2. I'm going to unmute Ash in, I believe, Florida. I don't know if you intended to put your hand up quite a while ago, but I'm just going to unmute you. Hello? Hello?
You have to press the volume keypad on there.
Hello? This is Ash, I believe, in Florida, who has had their hand up for quite a long time, but I think it may be a mistake. Hello? Okay, I'll mute that again. So yeah, just to remind you all that if you want to speak on the phone, you just press *2. There is the Q&A, which I will just have a quick look at as well, if any of you have written any questions in there. And chat. Sorry, chat. Okay. So we often have this in our immersions that we run when we get to the end of a deep session and we open up for people to speak, and of course no one is really ready to speak because it's actually been an incredibly deep session today, despite all those interruptions that we experienced at the beginning with the internet. It seems that we were, getting ready for a really mega connection, and okay, so Ian, hello Ian, in Australia, is just saying, Chung Fu, could you please elaborate on the Arcturian message of converting thoughts into feelings?
Peace, dear one, greetings to you. Well, I think a really good analogy is water. Think of the states of water. It's all water, but it can be frozen, and it can come up into fluidity, and then it can turn into steam, and it can completely combine with the air and evaporate. So, in that sense, your power to think is where you are bringing your light, your power of your divine self, your higher self, into a form, so into a thought. So let's think of the thought being, for example, a thought of love. Let's think of love, a thought. I love, let's say I love a person. Here we are. I notice a person, I see a person, I love them. All right. Now, that thought, that noticing of the light, of the quality of this something about a person that you love, you know well how that sort of begins to have an effect in your feelings. And then as it converts into that feeling of love, which is a little different from the thought of love. Yes, it's coming into something now that's moving, the water energy, it's moving around your body. And any minute now, it's going to want to do something. Hug them, embrace, say something physical, I love you, or you are very beautiful, or something is going to start to manifest from the heart into physicality. Or let's think of something else, for example. I mean, it's fairly simple the way I'm explaining it, and perhaps your question was more intricate, which you can speak of later. But I'm trying to keep it simple on purpose. So let's think of an idea like, all right, I want to go on holiday. I'm thinking of a holiday. I have a definite vision of holiday. But the feeling of going on holiday, if you like, determines, or the kind of feeling I want to feel with that holiday, so it's all very quite intricate. It starts to, the idea of the holiday starts to come in to my heart because I want a certain kind of holiday. I don't want to go to the moon. Might be a holiday, but that's a bit cold, a bit far away, and involves getting in a spaceship or, some sort of rocket. That's not the holiday I want. No, that doesn't fit. No, this thought of a holiday fits, it has a certain, it becomes a feeling, and that then, if you like, starts to manifest that thought, because I want to go somewhere sunny, or whatever it may be. Maybe I want a reading holiday, maybe I want a spiritual retreat holiday. That thought starts to express itself and become a feeling, which then determines what I'm going to do about manifesting that holiday. So I just wait for any further feedback from Ian, whether that is how, if that has helped, or if you wanted something a little more esoteric than that. I can wait, because I expect it takes a little time. Mm-hmm.
Okay, Ian. We'll just wait a moment and just see if you are writing something else. Perhaps you could... Okay, no, that's good. Okay, he feels complete with that.
Please do.
And Julia, I can see you've got your hand up, so I'm going to unmute you. Hi, Julia.
Hi there, Sophie.
Hi.
Greetings, Julia.
Hello, greetings, Jungfu. Peace.
So, Julia, you're echoing, because I think you've also got the Rizuku.
You're right. I'll turn that off. Yeah.
Okay.
It's been rather nice to have the echo. But I just would like to ask, if only, if it's at all possible, of course, Jungfu, to just give something wider and more deep on the qualities, and how there can be connection strongly with Melchizedek and also Kuan Yin. What a joy it was to have the presence of both of these this day, and so anything you could contribute towards the qualities of Melchizedek and Kuan Yin would be so marvelous. Thank you.
I just want to ask, is what you mean, you want me to explain who they are, or how you can align to them, or both?
It is more the second, and not only myself, but obviously of everybody present, how we can connect more, and the qualities that both of these beings do give.
I think. Thank you. Yes, I think you could probably feel, but I try to, bring some words in there for you. So, Melchizedek, as you know, it means the Great One. So, Melchizedek is a being, we could say, outside time and space. So, the original manifestation of Christ presence, the soul logos presence, which has come through in many incarnations of beings who then have perhaps taken different names, and I could go historically through that, but I leave that also quite open and wide for your interpretation, for there are different interpretations precisely because Melchizedek is not a being who has actually been limited to a life. So Melchizedek is like saying the Christ energy, and is manifesting within the worlds of light at a sixth, seventh dimensional level. So when there's any manifestation, so that being is a 10th dimensional being, coming from the central sun or the center of the universe, and manifesting sometimes through human beings. So if we name some of those beings, I would be able to say to you, yes, that being has brought that presence in. So Melchizedek clearly, as then you can understand, is completely accessible to any human being who decides they will be open to the cosmic presence, to the divine Christ energy, who has within your heart that willingness to go through the clearing that requires. It just happens from within when your passion, if you like, comes alive, when you realize I actually am connected, I want to feel it more, then the bodies, and you know very much about that, beloved, as do many on this call, the bodies then go through a massive process of chucking out the rubbish, clearing the negativity. It's actually very painful. That's why you have examples in your world of the Nazarene going into the wilderness, of the initiations of many spiritual beings walking their Christing path. That's really what that is the opening of the being to that presence, for it to be within, because that presence is very big, and for it to actually live in you for any amount of time is very, very demanding on all your bodies, and so requires initiatory practices, spiritual practices that strengthen the inner bodies for that presence. So you will always hear when that being comes through, what you know is that gathered here amongst you all is that willingness. In your gathering, I should say, you all express it in your energetic, in your combined being of light. You're expressing that willingness and that openness, which is why that energy can come through. And that is not something Chong Fu determines, that is determined within the gathering. So the gathering itself is what calls the different presences. The next being who came through for you, Kuan Yin. So Kuan Yin, again, extraordinarily enough, that's the name. The name means the Great One. So Kuan Yin is coming through the certain Eastern cultures as that expression. Very connected with many of you here who have had lives in those cultures, and this deity, again, a 10th dimensional being manifesting here through the emanations that you are presenting, because again, this is a co-creation, this is where the power of compassion, the power of love that's already present has magnetized that quality, that deity presence, that quality of the Divine Mother, that is, as she said, courage and fierce love, compassion. This is, you see, sometimes people think compassion is something sort of a bit soft, if you like. Well, not at all. Kuan Yin is a dragon. She's on a dragon. She brings a dragon energy. She brings a power, the power of love, that is courage, that is that really cuts through anything soft. It's very, very powerful. And so in those traditions, that is the quality that she embodies. And this was something really called forward today by myself and well, really by all your higher selves. And that is, and again, that you know, beloved, you really know about courage. You know, you have a lot of courage. Many beings gathered here, you know, you have a lot of courage. You have a lot of fierce love as well that will just determined. I'm staying on the path. It doesn't matter what is, you know, coming up here. I'm staying here. I'm gripping on. I'm just really holding fast to my higher self, knowing. So this is you can understand that when the beings manifest, it's a reflection for you all. It's a gift that is given in reflection of the qualities that you are bringing forward. Peace.
Oh, peace, Chung Fu. That is very wonderful what you have just given, and I'm sure others within our blessed group can identify. I, for myself, have been having dramatic change in the last month, and especially in the last 2 weeks, and it has come to me as you were speaking just now that I believe, been able to receive some of those energies, certainly of Kuan Yin, of the qualities you have just been speaking, that have been helping me to come to the understanding that compassion is absolutely to do with forgiveness. And I've had a very dramatic turnaround and a plunging through in emptying out many things. And I'm so grateful for all that has been given tonight and today, and for the presences of those that came through. Thank you so, so much. I am truly grateful. Peace.
Peace, beloved. Great love to you, Julia. We are delighted to hear this. Peace.
Yeah.
Peace, dear
Love
one.
you, Julia.
Blessings and peace. Yes.
We're all celebrating.
We
that.
celebrate you, beloved.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you. Peace unto everybody, my love.
Peace.
Just so lovely to be joined with this group.
Peace.
Peace, dear.
So again, inviting any of you who would like to share your thoughts, or if you're feeling shy and you're on the telephone, you don't want to speak, there is a question and answer box for those of you that are on the computer and on the, listening online. Okay. Tiffany, I'm going to unmute you. Hello?
Hello.
Hello. Welcome.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can.
Hi.
Hi.
Greetings.
So much for this. This is greetings, Mr. Fu. How are you?
I know where you come from, beloved. You call me Mr. Fu. There aren't many who do that. I have a feeling it's going to catch on up your way, dear one.
Oh, well, yeah. I was introduced to you by Ryan.
Yes, I thought so.
And, yes. And very, very, very grateful for that. Very grateful. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Peace.
I probably am a little all over the place, but I try to narrow down what I really have to ask you. I'm trying to figure out who I am.
I thought you said you'd narrowed it down, beloved.
The last time I spoke with you, we were talking about knew that and being reminded of that. And now that I understand it and I seek it, it seems to elude me. Before I knew nothing about what was going on, and it happened all the time. And it makes me feel like I'm more at home when I have those outer body experiences. And now that I don't have them as often or not at all, I feel a little lost.
Interesting.
You able to tell me? Yes.
So you're saying that when you became conscious of them, they stopped. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Yes, that's exactly correct.
Well, I wouldn't worry about it too much, because what I think, and it's interesting how that connects with your question, I'm trying to find out who I am, and I said I thought you were trying to narrow it down, because, you see, that's right, because before, your astral travel was coming from a place in a certain way of being lost. And so in a way, you see, the spirits are trying to help you to come into yourself before those powers are released again, because that's why I said I thought you're trying to narrow it down, because I think, you see, that's really what needs to happen for you is exactly for you to narrow down for a little bit. So we don't want you to be limited, because you definitely have powers, psychic powers, gifts and skills. But when you just kind of, if you imagine it, here you are, you're a being, you got all, imagine you had all these riches, you see, and you go wandering about the universe, and you drop some off here and some off over there, and throw some gold over here, and you chuck a whole load of diamonds over there, and you come home and you say, I'm absolutely poverty-stricken. And I have no idea what I've done with any of me. I'm lost. All right? So this is the thing, is that when there's unconsciousness, when you unconsciously do things, there can result that feeling of, I don't know who I am. I don't seem to have it. I don't know. Where am I, you see? And so the focus at the moment is on presence, on you being completely present and feeling what that means. It's a lot about emotions at the moment, feeling emotions. What do I feel? And that can be everything from very negative, angry, frustrated, I feel limited, even anger about not being able to astral travel at the moment. Whatever that is, it's really important for you to focus on it, because actually there's a big dialogue going on at the moment between your higher self and a rather lost part of your human self that's trying to come back in, that you did actually go wandering off to try and find, but you forgot, and on the way lost lots of other stuff, you see what I mean? And what needs to happen is a lot of soul retrieval. And soul retrieval happens through basically emotional experiences, that you start to realize these feelings, any feelings going on, even the feeling of numbness, even the feeling of no feeling, even the feeling of stuckness, they are all voices from inside you calling your attention to deep places. So if I say that to you straight off the top of your head, what's the first feeling that comes up for you?
Oh, you said straight off the top of my head, goodness. The first feeling that comes up for me is understanding. I understand what you're saying.
You do understand?
I do understand.
Very good. What's your spiritual... yes, sorry.
I'm sorry.
Carry on.
I feel a little numbness most of the time. I feel disconnected.
That's it.
I feel that I'm a part of the world, but not really feeling like I'm in the world.
Yeah, you are.
I don't know if that makes any sense.
Oh, that makes total sense. That right there, that's a statement about somebody who's stuck between the worlds. And I don't mean that in a dramatic sort of, oh no, I'm hovering between, planet Arcturus and Earth. I don't mean it like that. I just mean that, as I said, part of you is, you're distracted by a part of you that isn't in, that doesn't really want to be in, the numbness is, well, why don't you really want, well, because I don't want to feel all these feelings about being human. I don't want to be limited to my earth body. I want to do that traveling thing again, and oh no, but I know I've got to do something before. I got to get that all under control. There's so much going on inside you that you've numbed out over it. So practice. So I want to come back to, what is your spiritual practice in your day? What do you do about it, if you see what I mean?
I haven't, exactly. I know I need to meditate.
Well,
I haven't made time to do that.
Oh, really? Have you not? Oh my goodness. Well, you know. And never mind, you know, let's get it really simple about what we're talking about. We're not talking about, you know, a transcendental meditation, sitting cross-legged, you know, with cross eyes, you know. We're not talking about that. We're talking, I mean, you can do that too, that's great. But we're talking about integration and alignment. We're talking about your instrument, you, the psychic, the being, you getting into you and realizing, oh, I'm an incredibly talented, gifted, you know, seer. And why did I shut myself down? How interesting. And becoming a bit of a doctor with yourself. Let me see. Let me diagnose this now. Let me, you know, like I told you at the beginning of where I started today, saying, well, look at yourself. You know, sit in your higher self. Imagine you are sitting in a little bit kind of above yourself, looking at yourself and saying, right, Tiffany, is it? Tiffany. Right, Tiffany. Now let's look at you. I'm God. I'm the God version of Tiffany, looking at human Tiffany, and say, now look here, Tiffany. Why aren't you doing, you know, your spiritual practice, whatever you call that, and that can be anything from walking in the woods to contemplation. But the main point is, am I feeling real? Is this who Tiffany really is? Am I being fiercely loving? Am I being courageous? Am I arriving in this day? And that will involve all sorts of things, from your relationships to your job to just about everything, your political involvements, your economic life, your finances. Everything needs looking at and feeling about. Do not think that being spiritual is just pretending, you know, you're just sort of sailing through life and nothing matters. Not at all. That is really what's happening, is you've got a wealth of emotions there to investigate. Okay. Now, I know I have to give you cryptic answers on this call, so as you know, your higher self has actually got all the answers. Do your practice every day. Open your centers. Align your body. Listen. And align your body to your heart, to your mind, to your higher mind. Listen. Have faith. Believe in what you're being shown. Look through your eyes. Open them. Goodness gracious, you have got such an instrument there. Come on. Wake up.
Zhang Fu, share aware of your practices.
Peace.
Peace.
It's the Chong Fu boot camp. It's right. Jerome says, are you aware of the meditations? We have some, more Chong Fu boot camp meditations for you, if you want some reminders of ways you need to think really about your centers, opening them up. That sort of thing. Have a look or talk to the vehicles, either daughter or son here, Jerome or Sophia, and they will guide you to some useful practices.
Thank you, Jerome. Okay.
Peace.
I had one more for you.
Oh, yes.
It is a two-parter combined. I feel a connection to the Nazarene Jesus, or Yahshua, and I feel a connection to the name Marigold, or Margot, or it's a Marigold or a Margot, also had a vision of these two type of like reptilian fingers, like what we get here from like media as far as alien is concerned or other beings, that they these two long reptilian fingers. Sometimes I close my eyes. It's happened on a couple of occasions. I know I've given you about 3 questions. I'm sorry, my mind. And I just wonder if you have any insight to any of that.
That connects the Nazarene with the name, with what you're seeing with the fingers. Is that what you're asking?
No.
So-
All of that was probably 3 separate questions.
Yeah.
I apologize. I feel a connection with the Nazarene. Sometimes if I think about who I believe that he was or is, I get very emotional. And I don't know if there's a different type of connection there, or that's just the Christ energy coming through. And the reptilian thing is just a totally separate thing. I don't know. I don't understand it.
Mm-hmm.
So
All right.
so
And
can
that
I,
marigold name just kind of comes up every once in a while.
so I'm just going to interrupt because it's late. What I'm going to say is because also
I'm
maybe
sorry.
no, it's okay. No. What I was going to say is because also we have Lovely B in Australia who's actually articulated a question regarding the Nazarene as well. So what I think is if you, Chung Fu, could answer the alien question of the alien fingers, because then B is asking really a quite similar question, which is she's saying, Chung Fu, have you ever had Jesus of Nazareth come through, and have we been living in his times in other lives? So she's asking about that connection as well. So maybe we could end on that, but answer first Tiffany's other question.
Peace, Diwan. All right. So, in your travels, Tiffany, in other realms, you have made contact with some reptilian beings. You've also been protected from them, but there have been some connections, and so your guides and your helpers, yes. Right. So you've also received some communications and some information from some reptilian beings, and right. So they've kind of that's one of the reasons that there's been a closure of some of your faculties, in order for there not to be any availability of your energies. So when you see those energies, just know that you are kept safe, and they're not really desirable energies for your being.
Okay.
Peace.
Okay, thank you.
There is a longer answer, but not today.
Okay.
All right, but the main thing for you to know is you have a very powerful set of guides. They let you have the contact for the information that came through, but they don't let them have access anymore. Peace. So
I'm
Thank
good.
you.
Yeah.
yes, I'm going to answer the Nazarene question now.
But what I'll do, because there seemed to be some noise coming from the background, Tiffany, I'm just going to mute you. I'll unmute you at the end.
Okay.
I'll unmute you at the end if in case you have something you want to say after. But I'm also going to invite, if there's anyone who really has a short, sweet little thing they want to say or ask, then please do put your hands up, and then we will finish. But we'll just let Chung Fu answer this one.
All right, dear ones. So in regards to the Nazarene, yes, I have very close contact with the Nazarene. You have to understand a lot in this subject. That the Nazarene is a human being, and that the energy that came into the Nazarene, known as Yeshua, when he was known as Yeshua, that is the Christ energy. And they are, in a sense, like I told you today, that Melchizedek is
is the higher manifestation, if you like, of the Christ energy. When Yeshua was initiated, everybody knew, and many people said, it is Melchizedek coming in. It is Melchizedek, he is the great one. So you have to understand human perception in regards to that Christ energy coming in. And I did say to you about Melchizedek that there are many beings, and it goes through history. Some history has noted it and then also twisted it or tried to understand it and not quite understood it. Of course you would feel emotional when you think of the Nazarene, because that is the source energy of all life. The Christ energy is within you, and manifesting upon the earth in its totality is the most moving thing that you can witness. A being who is completely carrying the Goddess presence within, who is Christed, who is literally burning with the fire of divine presence. That is going to set your heart on fire. And yes, both of you have met the Nazarene within that life. A number of people here gathered have as well. It is not surprising, as you are part of that oversoul. So the oversoul of humanity is the great oversoul, and within that oversoul there is that combined oversoul that has brought through and come through many manifestations, like we could say tribes, nations, configurations of human presence upon the earth. And so that is a big story, and of course that is why you are drawn to commune with Chong Fu, because I am part of that oversoul that is also one with the Nazarene, one with many beings who are connected to that source and manifesting in that expression, coming through onto the earth, but also into other parts of the universe. I think that's the best answer. That's short for now. Thank you. Blessings and peace.
Thank you, Bea and Tiffany. I'll just unmute you again, Tiffany. Hello?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for raising your hand and sharing with us. It was great.
Do your practice, beloved.
Yes, Mr. Fu, I will.
Peace. It will go well for you. Excellent.
Thank you.
Do your practice, Tiffany.
You can feel a song coming on, beloved.
Then your higher self you will see.
Yes, there we are, Sophia. Or will be.
Or
You
will be. Yeah, then your higher self you'll be.
That's
Do
it.
your practice, Tiffany.
It's your mantra for a few weeks. Yes.
Thank you all. You're so beautiful. I really appreciate it. Thank
Peace to you, wife.
We are all beautiful. It's true. All the great,
Thank you,
beautiful
B, for
women.
your question also, dear one. Great blessings to you.
Yes.
Mhm.
So, I don't see any more of you putting your hands up, and I'm sensing the end of the call hath cometh. Hello, Michael. Lovely that you did join us. I hope those of you on the video, it will not always be like that. Please take a chance again, any of you who chose to
It
join
was the
in.
storms.
It was the storm.
It was the
Normally-
weather. You had a
normally the-
big front coming in.
Yeah, the internet's normally solid.
Yeah. But lovely that those of you that did join us in that way. Lovely that all of you joined us in all the ways you did. Very precious. And it was such an extraordinarily, precious call actually. So I think we were all meant to be here, those of us that were here. And I'm going to let Chong Fu just bless us out. And we really look forward to this is actually our last live call of this year, but we are intending to go back to when we first began these live calls in 2015. we actually did them every month, and then last year we did them every other month, and this year we have only had 4 live calls, partly for a number of reasons, but we're going to go back to having one every month. So yeah, I will put out an email, try and put out an email much sooner than I did this time, to tell you all the dates so that you can perhaps put them in your diaries, those of you who would like to be aware of them. And yeah, really look forward to sharing more with you next year. Blessings.
Blessings.
Thank you so much to Sophia and to Jerome, who have run around fixing the technical problems today. Thank you so much. The spirits are all very grateful to you, dear ones. Thank you all so much for coming and joining us in our Temple of Light, those beloveds. Such a wonderful gathering of you all. Such beautiful hearts. Thank you for joining us today. And I want you to understand, really, what I said to, I think it was Tiffany, or was it Julia, that basically you are the ones who determine who comes forward. The strength and the power of the energy of you all gathered here has drawn towards you today some truly beautiful gifts and blessings on the inner plane. Feel them coming in. Know they are for you, specifically for you. Take them personally to your hearts and know that these blessings, they are fuel for your evolution. They are for you because as you grow, as you evolve, as you become more radiant, of course, the divine beings can emanate their light through you more and more. And this is the great divine purpose that you all serve. And so we give thanks today to all your spirit guides and helpers, family, relations, and ancestors gathered here in this Temple of Light. We give thanks to all ascended beings, of the great brother-sisterhood of the oversoul of humanity, and of the particular oversouls of your bloodlines, of your families. We give thanks for all the wisdom, all the love, the blessings and healing coming forward to you this day and onwards. We honor and give thanks to all angelic and archangelic beings who come forward to protect you in your life, to work with you. Remember to call upon them. We give them thanks. Give thanks to all deities manifesting through you all in your life in small and great ways, in the small and great manifestations, in all the works that you are drawn forward to manifest in your lives, giving thanks for the deities coming forward with the faces and forms of the divine feminine and the divine masculine. We give thanks and we honor the solar logos, Christ's energy pouring forth from the central sun of creation, the solar logos, the word of God, goddess, the presence divine in the center of each and every one, in the center of the universe, in the center of the macrocosm and the microcosm. Give thanks to the solar lords and solar deities manifesting as solar rays in the physical worlds. This sun within your galaxy and all suns within other galaxies and constellations throughout the universe. We give thanks here upon the earth for the beings, the spirits, the powers and deities of the elements of earth, air, fire and water, giving thanks for physical manifestation, physical creation, and the opportunity for each one of you to evolve in physical incarnation, to come to understand and align the laws of all universes, giving thanks to all your allies and relations within the worlds of nature who are the spirits
of the plants and flowers and trees, standing people, bringers of nourishment, food, medicine, and healing, we give thanks to the plant beings. We honor your familiars, your power animals, birds, water beings, insect devas, and serpent beings, and the communicators within the etheric realms of earth and space, the spirits of the fairy, elven, pixie, and leprechaun beings, dragon, phoenix, unicorn beings, extraterrestrial and starseed beings, all bringing forward to you gifts, blessings, powers and qualities, intelligence and awareness for your highest good and for the evolution of souls. We give thanks to the beings of crystal, of stone, of rock and mineral, and the keepers of the Akashic records, communicating with you through these crystalline grids of light, enabling each one of you to evolve and to bring forward the divine presence and your highest self within your life. Give thanks for the overlighting protection, for the love and blessings, for the peace and grace, wisdom, inspiration, power, strength, healing, and compassion of the all-in-one divine presence deep within. And may the living spirit that is within all things come forward within each and every one, bringing the light, the luminosity and the radiance of your higher self to fill your mind with clarity, with perspective, with the overview, filling your heart with courage, with understanding, with compassion and love for yourself and others, with the power to forgive, with confidence, self-confidence, and self-belief and faith. And may this higher self light illuminate all the cells of your body, that you may be strong, physically healthy, with stamina and strength to bring through love, peace, joy, harmony, truth, deep soul connection, abundance and prosperity and well-being, and deep understanding. It is beyond the mind. Blessings and peace to you all.
Blessings and peace.
Om Tara Tu